What's up, Ragin Nation? How y'all doing? This is Alex. You're watching the Ragin Ronin review. You already saw my video talking about the sale of Lucasfilm to Disney Studios. Well, now in this video, I want to talk about episodes 7, 8, and 9. Specifically episode 7. If you don't already know, episode 7 is really happening and it's coming out on summer 2015. It's probably going to come out sometime in May of 2015, and that is really exciting. Apparently, George Lucas has already worked on the story treatment of episode 7 well before this transaction took place. So what they need right now is a writer, producer, and director. So even though George Lucas wrote the story, it doesn't mean that he actually wrote the screenplay for the movie. He won't be credited as being the writer for the movie, which a lot of people will agree could be a good thing. So it'll most likely say story by George Lucas on the credits. I remember a long time ago, maybe in the late 80s or the early 90s, that there was talk of episodes 7, 8, and 9. And this is well before the production was happening for episodes 1, 2, and 3. The fact was that he wanted to make the entire saga of 9 episodes. And after episode 3, a lot of the fans thought that that was it. Well, apparently not. He has kept this under wraps for such a long time until now. And this is really huge news because the possibility of another Star Wars episode is a huge thing. Remember when episode 1 was being hyped up and released and we started seeing the trailers for it all? That was pretty exciting. That was a really exciting time for Star Wars fans, and now this is going to be another exciting time for Star Wars fans. Let's forget about this whole Mickey Mouse Darth Vader thing and the fact that the moon of Endor is shaped like Mickey Mouse ears. Let's forget about that. That's all just jokes. That really isn't going to happen. The fact is that Disney purchased Lucasfilm so they can make more money, and the easiest way to get a bigger return on investment is by making more feature-length films. So how are they going to do this? Apparently, episodes 7, 8, and 9 take place when Luke and Leia are apparently in their 30s and 40s, but obviously Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford are nowhere near in that age. However, Harrison Ford did recently express his interest in reprising his role as Han Solo. In fact, I just read the article about it today. And with regards to Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, George Lucas actually had a meeting with them recently to talk about the possibility of them being or involved in episodes 7, 8, and 9. Now, if they're going to put them in there, they're most likely going to have to put some special effects or do some CG work where they got to make them look younger, just like how they made Bruce Willis look younger in Surrogates. That was a pretty good job. Now, if they can pull that off, then they can actually have those 3 main characters in episodes 7, 8, and 9. That will be kind of cool to see them do that, if they do that at all. Because as far as I know, nobody knows what the story of 7, 8, and 9 is going to be. We already knew the general idea of what's going to happen in episode 1, 2, and 3. It's the story of Anakin Skywalker as a kid and how he goes into his journey towards the dark side. So that's the general idea. But what is going to happen in 7, 8, and 9? That's all a big mystery right now. George Lucas already did the story treatment for episode 7, but I'm not sure about 8 and 9. Maybe he already did the treatment for the entire trilogy, or maybe it's just for episode 7 and he's going to leave the story for 8 and 9 for somebody else to take care of. Who knows? We don't know anything about that at all. It's all speculation. But let's just say he wrote the entire trilogy. Does that mean he's going to close it at episode 9? If he wrote the treatment for episode 7, then that could actually mean a pretty good thing. That means just like what Michael Bay is doing for Transformers 4, and that is leaving it open so that another director can continue the story of Transformers. And that applies to Star Wars as well. That means that after 7, 8, 9, there could be 10, 11, 12. And it can just keep on going. As long as the Star Wars universe exists, which it always will, they can continue making these movies. Anyways, the big piece of news that I have for you is just a rumor, and that is Matthew Vaughn is rumored to direct Star Wars Episode 7, and that is huge news. In fact, that is awesome news if he actually is the director for Star Wars Episode 7, because Matthew Vaughn is a great storyteller. He's no stranger to sci-fi, and he can definitely tell a really character-driven story, and that's exactly what we need for the 3rd trilogy of the Star Wars saga. Now, keep in mind that this is just a rumor. However, there is a little bit of truth to this rumor, because if you don't already know, Matthew Vaughn actually dropped out of directing X-Men First Class Days of Future Past. And it was a very abrupt decision. It just happened suddenly. So let's just say the studio executives at Disney Studios actually asked Matthew Vaughn to direct Episode 7. Would you say no? Hell no. You would take that opportunity right away. It's a great opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to tell a really grand and epic story. I hope that Matthew Vaughn is the director for Star Wars Episode 7. It would bring a new kind of life into Star Wars. When I look back at the prequels, they all kind of look and feel the same. I want to see something fresh and new with the new Star Wars saga, and Matthew Vaughn can be that person to make it happen. This is actually a big thing for me. I'm really excited because not only is Star Wars a huge movie franchise, but I'm also a huge fan of Star Wars, and that means I will be doing Star Wars Episode 7 production coverage on this channel. So there's more things for me to talk about. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Stay tuned for my next video where I talk about the fate of the home video release of the original trilogy and whether or not the untouched original trilogy is gonna make it to Blu-ray. If you guys haven't placed a pre-order for the Ragin Nation t-shirts, be sure to get that in. Email me at raginnation@gmail.com to place your pre-order. This is a limited production run of only 100 units. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, and also follow me on Twitter at Ragin Nation. My name is Alex, and may the force be with you. I'll see you next time. Peace. 4, 5, 6, they still will be re-releasing episode 2 and 3 in 3D in 2013. So